Forget what you thought you knew about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. December 19th isn't just another day on the calendar. It's the day Pandora fights back with fire and fury. Ubisoft just dropped a bombshell, announcing the game's third major expansion, From the Ashes, and it's launching on the exact same day as the next blockbuster movie, Avatar: Fire and Ash. This isn't just a simple DLC drop. This is a coordinated strike designed to completely redefine the game 2 years after its release, and it's a bigger deal than you might think. Let's be real for a moment. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora has had a fascinating, if somewhat turbulent journey since its launch back in late 2023. While Massive Entertainment undeniably crafted one of the most visually breathtaking open worlds we've ever had the chance to explore, a world that truly made you feel like a Na'vi, the game couldn't quite shake the initial comparisons. The phrase, "Far Cry with a blue skin," was thrown around by critics and players alike, and for some, that label unfortunately stuck, overshadowing the unique elements the game brought to the table. But beneath that surface-level criticism, a dedicated and passionate community was growing. Players who looked past the structural similarities discovered a deeply immersive experience, a phenomenal flight system that remains one of the best in gaming, and a story that genuinely respected the depth of James Cameron's universe. That community grew, and it grew large enough to consistently push Frontiers of Pandora into the best-selling charts on the Xbox Store throughout 2024, proving that there's a real, tangible hunger for more adventures on Pandora. Ubisoft clearly saw this, and instead of letting the game fade out, they've been quietly gearing up for something massive. This isn't just standard post-launch support, it's a full-blown second wind. So, what's the big news that has the community buzzing? On September 22nd, Ubisoft officially pulled back the curtain. The game's third major story expansion is called From the Ashes, and it will land on all platforms on December 19th, 2025. The story is set to pick up shortly after the events of the main game's campaign, but with a significantly darker and more aggressive tone. We'll be following a new Na'vi warrior named Solek, on a quest for revenge against not only the RDA, but also a mysterious and reportedly ruthless new Na'vi faction known simply as the Ash Clan. This expansion promises a brand new story, all new combat mechanics, and a completely new area of Pandora to explore, all designed to offer deeper storytelling and more visceral gameplay. For players who already own the game, this will be available as a standalone purchase, but for newcomers, Ubisoft is also releasing a new From the Ashes edition, which will bundle the base game, the new expansion, and 3 exclusive Banshee color patterns to customize your Ikran. But wait, there's actually more, and this next part is completely free for everyone who owns the game. Before the paid DLC even drops, a massive title update is scheduled to go live on December 5th. This isn't just your standard patch with bug fixes. We're talking about fundamentally game-changing additions. The headline feature is a fully implemented third-person mode, a feature the community has been begging for since day one. Alongside that, we're getting new Game Plus content, allowing you to restart the story with all of your unlocked gear and skills intact. This free update on its own is a massive deal for the future of the game. Okay, let's unpack this and analyze what it really means, because this strategy is more clever than it appears at first glance. The timing is surgical. Releasing a major expansion on the exact same day as the franchise's next blockbuster film is a brilliant move of synergistic marketing that will capture the peak of public interest in the Avatar universe. But it goes deeper. The movie is titled Fire and Ash. The DLC introduces a ruthless faction called the Ash Clan and is titled From the Ashes. You don't need to be a master strategist to connect these dots. It is almost a certainty that the events, themes, and especially this new Ash Clan in the game's DLC will directly tie into or foreshadow the central conflict in the movie. This move could position Frontiers of Pandora as essential companion content, a piece of the story you need to experience to get the full picture. It cleverly transforms the game from a standalone story into an active, evolving part of the mainline Avatar canon. Now, let's talk about that December 5th update, specifically the third-person mode. This is, without a doubt, the single biggest potential game changer here. One of the most persistent barriers to entry for many potential players was the mandatory first-person perspective. People spend hours in character creators. They want to see their custom Na'vi, to feel more connected to their character as they leap through the jungle canopy and soar on their Ikran. By adding a third-person camera, Massive is directly addressing the game's most significant and longest-standing piece of community feedback. This isn't just a quality-of-life tweak. It's a fundamental shift in how the game can be played and experienced. It could bring in a massive wave of new players who were hesitant before, and will give veterans a completely fresh reason to replay the entire game, especially with New Game Plus arriving in the very same update. Ubisoft's overarching strategy here is also worth analyzing. Supporting a single-player focused open-world game with significant story-driven content a full 2 years after its initial release is a powerful testament to the game's sleeper hit status. It tells us that the sales numbers and, more importantly, the player engagement metrics were strong enough to justify this continued, expensive investment. It also signals a potential shift in how they handle their major licensed IPs. Instead of a one-and-done release that fades after a year, they're treating Pandora as an evolving platform, a digital space that grows and changes right alongside the film franchise. This is a powerful model that keeps the game relevant and profitable for years. And that brings us to the persistent rumors of a director's cut or a complete edition. While it's just speculation for now, it makes perfect sense as the final piece of the puzzle. Once all 3 story expansions are out in the wild, packaging the base game and all its DLC into a single, definitive edition is a classic and effective industry move. It would be the perfect entry point for anyone who has been waiting on the sidelines for the full story. If this director's cut includes the third-person mode and other improvements from the get-go, it could very well be the version that finally sheds that old Far Cry clone label for good, and establishes Frontiers of Pandora as the definitive, must-play Avatar gaming experience. Ultimately, this flurry of announcements is a massive vote of confidence from Ubisoft in Frontiers of Pandora. It's a fantastic reward for the dedicated community that has supported the game from the start, and a compelling invitation for everyone else to give Pandora a second look. Between the darker, movie-connected storyline of From the Ashes and the game-altering free update, this December is shaping up to be the month that Frontiers of Pandora finally rises from the ashes of its initial reception to claim its place as a truly great sci-fi adventure. So, that is a whole lot to look forward to this December. It's shaping up to be a fantastic time to be an Avatar fan, both in theaters and at home. Pause equals 0.5 seconds. But I want to know what you all think. What are you most excited about? Is it the potential of the new, darker story in the From the Ashes DLC and its connection to the movie? Or is it that free update with the long-awaited third-person mode that finally has you ready to jump back in? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your perspectives. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all things gaming with analysis that goes beyond the headlines, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Pandora.